Hey, I'm Sean,
Hi, and I'm Shannon.
and we're the host of Wifey and Baby Mama. Happy Thursday, family, and happy Thursday, Shannon.
Happy Thursday to you too, girl.
Hey, welcome to episode 10 of season 5, peeps. As always, we thank you all for
Wow.
spending another Thursday with us. Wow is
Mhm.
right, Shannon. Every week's it get more real, right? She's like, wow. I'm like, wow
Yes,
is correct.
flying by. Yes, flying past.
Flying past us. Tonight, guys, we have an extended version of us because we have, you guessed it, another guest. The beautiful,
Yes.
talented, and deep Mrs. Shilo Wallace will be joining us to help us break down our topic tonight titled Soul Choices. Now, I don't anticipate, Shannon, this being a very popular topic, okay? However,
Mm.
like most of our topics, it is necessary. So Shannon and I are going to go there tonight, and Miss Shiloh was brave enough to come along for the ride. So without further delay, Shiloh, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience and tell them about all that goodness God put out when He made you?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me, ladies. Thank you for the invitation. I'm
Yes.
very honored to be here. My name is Shilo Wallace, and I am the proud mother of 4 children, 3 boys and 1 girl. I am divorced. I am an entrepreneur. I own a couple businesses. I do homeless housing for men and women. I sell life insurance in New York State. I have a rental hall that I rent out, and I do 360 video. I love evangelism. I am also ordained a pastor. I am a spiritual counselor, a mentor, and a spiritual advisor, a mentor, and a pastoral counselor. And that's about it.
And she loved her
That's
grandbabies, y'all.
Oh yes, I have 2 grandchildren that are 2 and 1.
And
So they
she
keep me
loves
very
them,
busy.
y'all.
Yes, they keep me
yeah.
very busy.
So don't be
Um,
thinking Shiloh got time because them babies be having her a lot. So I'm just
They
kidding.
take up. I had
Hey.
to make everybody go upstairs to make this video. I'm like, upstairs now, everyone.
Shiloh, thank you so much, honey, with all that you do for joining us. Seriously, we appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you. Thank you.
yes. Thank you so much.
We are honored to have such a positive soul and such good energy in the room. So we're going to make
Oh,
it count
yeah.
tonight, Shannon. So as I stated, tonight's topic might not be very popular, but we all thought it affects a lot of females, and no one talks about how damaging soul choices can be, Shannon. And in fact,
Mm,
to me, it's just as detrimental as a soul tie, if you ask. So
yeah.
we're gonna give you our 2 cents and let you decide if you agree, disagree, or remain indifferent. And as you all know that listen to us every week. There's no right or wrong on Wife and Baby Mama here. We simply give our opinions, and we're all allowed to have them. So, Miss Shiloh, this is your first time kicking it with us here at Wife and Baby Mama. So, the
Yes.
first one will be directed to you. You ready?
Yes.
All right. So, in your opinion, do you feel it's safe for women to entertain men who say, I'm not looking for anything long term with anybody? Everyone I deal with is just a friend. Do you trust that?
Well, I think in 2025 that it really totally depends on the woman and what her
Okay.
desires and wants are, and her morals and values.
Okay. Very
Because
important.
if you are a woman of God, for most women of God who, have some kind of faith, that would not be acceptable because you know your worth, you know your value, and you know what God has intended for you. But if you're
Okay.
not in a faith, if you're not a woman of God per se, then this may be something that you don't mind doing because a lot of people just want companionship. A lot of people might just want somebody to help them with their bills. Some people may not want to be married. They might not want that commitment. Some people may have already been married and don't want to be married again because they weren't happy the first time. So I think that it really today depends on the wants and needs of women, because today women are the highest earners, the most educated, and a
Mhm.
lot of times they feel like, what do I need a man for?
Mm.
Right.
Besides those intimate times. And a lot of them
Uh-huh.
don't need them for that anymore because of other things. So, so with
So,
that,
Shannon, what does that sound like? That sounds like a previous episode we had, Shiloh,
okay,
when we had another guest and she called it microwave society or popcorn. They want everything quick
Yeah.
and fast. They don't want
yes,
to put in the work. And this is mirroring that
Yeah.
conversation. That's why it's so funny. Shannon, you remember that
Right.
episode?
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
I mean, we
Mhm.
agreed then, and I gotta agree now that everyone's not on that same page. How do you feel about it, Shannon?
Right. Yeah. So when there are situations and we have friends that really want to be married, they really do. And they've expressed that to the partner, whoever they're with. I've even had a girlfriend, they give the ultimatum. I'll tell you a story about one friend. She gave the ultimatum, you better marry me by this time or whatever. I want to be married. And this was several years ago when we were still, kind of young in our 30s. And he finally broke down and gave her a ring, but then he refused to set a wedding date. So they went another several years um, uh, without a actual wedding date. And every time she would bring up something and they would get into an argument, he'd say, "Well, at least you got the ring. You got the ring." And as if that was enough to appease her or
Mm-hmm.
satisfy her. And of course, it didn't work out. But all the years that were wasted, you know,
That's so.
it's
That's what
like,
I'm
why
getting
would
at right
you,
there.
yeah, why would you throw away all of that when you know it's what you really want? Like,
And
Shiloh, you said there are women that don't want to be married. There are plenty. Like for me, it took me a long time to get married because it's not what I wanted. It just wasn't, it was never my dream. I wasn't the little girl dreaming of the wedding with the wedding dress and all that stuff. That just wasn't my thing. But majority of women, they do want to be married. So hanging on to someone and wasting your precious years thinking you're going to turn someone around, I don't know. It's just a
now
waste.
I talk about soul choices, Shiloh. So I'm not more a soul of what you just spoke of, Shannon. I'm thinking about the guys who tell you straight up, listen, this is who I am. And I'm gonna keep you
Hmm.
100. I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't trust it. When a man tells you, listen, I'm emotionally unavailable, but we can do this. I don't trust it. And I feel when a man says that, it's gonna end one of three ways. First, or one of three things are going on, I should say. First, they have someone in the cut that they've had for years. They ain't going nowhere, you know, and he doesn't publicly present other women, and she's okay with it. He can sleep with the whole continent as long as he says, you my girl, but this is what I'm doing. That's good enough, for both of those people. Well, the one who's at home, the one who's coming in has a choice to deal with that, right? Second, he's really emotionally fried, like he's done, and in that case, I feel that's dangerous. They're really holding out on you as a, I don't know, not you per se. They're really holding out on themselves because they emotionally feel they can't handle that, right? And third is the stale line, I'm not the settling down type, and
Mm,
that's just
mm,
gonna
mm,
be, we could do this. And then women go for that, right? But you know what ends up
mhm.
happening? They end up thinking, I'm gonna change him. I'm gonna
Yeah.
just take my
right.
time, and and you know what? You spent a lot of years with that man, just like you said, Shannon, but
Mhm.
not on the present. You guys are not in a relationship. He's told you what it is, but you've spent 2, 3, 4, 5 years with this man. Eventually, he's gonna love me. He's gonna want me.
Mhm.
And now again, that's just my take on it. But to me, I'm too unhinged for either of those scenarios. So now I've learned to stay clear, keep my garlic on me for them kind of men. I don't want that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
Shiloh,
when I
I'm
look at,
curious. Have you? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Shannon.
oh no, go ahead. Ask your
I was going.
question,
I
Shiloh.
just wanted to ask Shiloh. Have you ever volunteered to ride that emotional, unavailable man roller coaster, and how did it turn out for you?
Mhm, mhm.
Oh, well, I would say in my earlier years, yes.
Hmm.
Probably because I didn't really want to be in relationships either. So it was like a win-win for me because I wasn't ready either.
Okay.
And I was like, I
Okay.
really didn't need you to be available in that way because I'm not available. But once I made up my mind that, I wanted to live right and I wanted to have a family and things like that, that wouldn't be acceptable because I feel like men, like you were saying, if a man tells you he doesn't want a relationship, believe him. Nothing can change his mind,
Mm.
ladies,
Hmm.
except for him.
That's right.
Mm.
Except for him. And a lot of times you're just a placeholder until he finds the
Hmm.
one.
Absolutely.
Until he finds the one. And
Oh,
then he could have been with you for 20 years and marry this woman in 6 months.
come
You
on.
know,
Hmm.
so
Again,
Yeah.
I'm too unhinged for that.
right.
So yeah, ladies, y'all got to consider that
Yes,
because
yes,
it does happen. Or again, Shiloh, like I said, they got that one sitting in the cut that's been there for 20 years and she ain't going anywhere. But
exactly.
his
Hmm.
obligation to her will keep him from marrying anybody else because she gives him permission to be as big as and as free as a dog as he want to be. So either way, it won't be you.
Exactly. So
Right.
that's when you have to
Right.
go
I
in the
honestly feel if a man, go
no, no,
ahead.
I'm sorry. I just was saying that's when you have to go into the valley of decision and decide, wait a minute now. Am I going to waste my good years? Don't let nobody listen to all the women that's listening to this. Don't let no man, excuse my English, waste your good years. Okay?
It's a fact.
That's
It's a
right.
fact.
That's
Because
right.
they
Yeah.
will. They
Yeah.
will string you along. They will,
Hmm.
do everything that you want them to do except for commit. And
And I feel like, go ahead.
no, I was just
I'm
going to
sorry.
say,
I keep jumping in on your
and you
point.
deserve more than that. You deserve more.
Yes. Yes.
All I want to sneak in real quick, Shannon, is this. If they start the conversation with that, please get on. Go ahead, Shannon, what you about to say.
Yeah.
If a
Yeah.
man starts the conversation with that, that's not where you want to
Right.
be. Go ahead, Shannon.
Right. Right. And as a mother of a grown man, my son, he is one of those where and I get on him all the time. Like where did I go wrong? But he always thinks there's something else better out
Yes.
there. Oh, this girl's good, but oh, I can't commit to her right now because you never know when
Mhm.
my Beyonce gonna come along or whatever. He's always
Hmm.
got, you know, that eye out there thinking there's something better than what he has. And he's had some wonderful women in his life, but he refused to commit because he's always thinking there's something else. Oh, I can't settle down now because, just as soon as I do,
Yes.
that one's going to pop up. So,
And then
yeah, so definitely don't believe him.
I just put up a status about that probably last week about how men don't settle down because they're always looking for better. And you know where I
Uh
seen this
huh.
the most? In the
Where?
church.
Oh,
You
Mm.
got men
wow.
Oh,
that are
wow.
pastors, men that
Mm,
should be trying to find a wife to keep him out of
hmm.
trouble.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Not only
Yeah.
to keep him out of trouble, but to be his helpmeet. If you a man
Hmm.
and you're
Hmm.
doing something, not to get too biblical, but God gave Adam Eve because he was working and he needed help. So if you're a
Yeah.
man
Hmm.
that's doing
Yeah.
something, you deserve help. If you're a man that's
Absolutely.
not doing nothing, you don't need no help. But a
Right.
lot of these men in the church, in the pulpit, that's traveling and doing all of these things and
Hmm.
preaching every Sunday or whatever, they really are
Hmm.
still looking. You mean to tell me the Lord haven't presented nobody to you? The Lord haven't
Right.
given you four sisters and said all four of these are options? No,
Hmm.
come on.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's
Like you
funny
said.
you mentioned that,
uh-huh.
Shiloh, because I don't know. There's been in recent weeks, maybe the last month or so, a big scandal about a well-known pastor that's actually down here in the South. I don't know if you all follow
Yes, I saw that.
Larry Reed. You know what I'm talking about. Okay.
Yes.
So this woman, after 10 years with him keeping her a secret or whatever, she finally, I don't know what happened, but finally after 10 years and him being with, I guess, all these other women or whatever, and he's a well-known pastor. She blasted him, put everything out on social media. Now, I'm not down with that, but um just looking at her and just how beautiful she is, and I have family that actually goes to his church and they talk about, what a wonderful, sweet woman this is, and they couldn't believe it because they had no clue what was going on because he kept her a secret, even though she's right there in the congregation with all of them.
Mhm.
So
Um,
they weren't
and
married. This is just the
no.
lady he's seeing. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead. I don't know the
Oh,
story.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
so
I'm
they were just no,
sorry.
it's okay. They're just
Hmm.
seeing each other, and finally she got tired and put him on blast.
Put him on
Is that what
blast.
happened?
Yeah, but a
What?
whole lot of other stuff.
But he was
Yeah,
also
she
married,
she
correct? Is this
revealed
the
so
same
much.
story? He was also married?
No, no.
Okay.
He's never been
Okay.
married. He's like what you
Okay.
described, one of those pastors that will refuse to settle down and strings these beautiful women along for years and years and years until they get fed up, and then he's always in the pulpit crying, saying, please pray for me, I need help, I need forgiveness, I need, this, that, or whatever. And um yeah, I find it um just funny that you would mention that you see it in the church a lot because
That just
um
happened.
yeah, that just happened. Like, wow.
Wow.
I've been
And my thing is, I wonder what he was telling her those whole 10 years. You know what?
Mm,
What did he tell you to make you stay 10 years? I mean, I've
yeah.
been foolish enough to do the thing twice. These men, both of these men said, "Hey, listen, I cannot do this. I'm not an emotional person. We could do this if you want." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, we can do it." I'm like Shilo said, I'm choosing to do this because I ain't really got time either. Let me tell you something. 10 years, Shannon. The first time it ended because I got tired of pretending not to be in love. After I don't care what we say, after a year or two of physically being with someone, engaging with them in the bedroom mentally, you can say what you want to with your mouth. A woman's heart is going to fall unless you just
Mm-hmm.
hard as a rock. And I got tired of pretending that I didn't feel that way. So I had to let it go. But I knew the rules. So I didn't trip on him. I just, I didn't try to force it on him. I let him walk away. I walked away. Um, the second time I ended up, fighting for my life. We're still together.
Mm.
And we married for the second time. But he told me when I first met that boy, he told me straight up, listen here, I'm not good for you, da da. And I'm like, I just want to be with you. I'm gonna change. You're gonna change. You're gonna fall in love, baby. Listen, sometimes I still wonder why I ain't listen to that man. Okay, I be fighting for my life every single day. And it's not infidelity, trust me. He was
Mm-hmm.
unemotionally ready. And it's taken years for him to come up to this place. And baby, I still need Jesus and all 12 of his disciples to hang on some days, okay? So trust me, baby, wait on the Lord. Don't when that man tell you keep walking, baby, or let him go get himself together and come back and find you again. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I speak from experience when they say it, they mean
That's
it,
right.
okay? But I was just so in love with my husband. I said, well, baby, we gonna make you ready. We gonna get you right, bro. God took him 15 years, and I came back again. Like, oh, okay, you back? Let's go. Let's try it again. And God just keep hitting me on my neck with that flip flop. Like you just don't listen. But I loved him. And I think if you have enough, Shiloh made a very good point. You have to be spiritually, baby, intact. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think because I'm so spiritually in tune, is why I'm able to keep fighting for my marriage. Baby, if I wasn't saved, this thing would have been over a long time ago. So it take a special kind of food. Remember that song, y'all? Okay, it ain't sound off time, but it takes a special kind of food, baby, to walk into what I kept walking into. But for some reason, my heart just it wouldn't leave me alone. But anyways, so I don't want to. I don't want to, damper anybody or try to discourage you. Like Shiloh said, if you're not spiritual, if this is what you want to do, hey, go for it. All we, all we come on this show to do is share our experiences. And as you can see, none of those situations with any of us ended well. So, in my opinion, if a man starts with that, I'm emotionally unavailable, then believe him. That's
Mm-hmm.
just,
Yes.
that's just my opinion.
And sometimes, like you said it's not infidelity. Sometimes being emotionally unavailable is worse than infidelity because
Girl, talk about it.
because when people
Talk
shut
about it.
down, it's like the worst thing, especially when you're
Mm.
a communicator and you just like, just talk to me, and they just not there,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh.
But I say
Mhm.
all that to say that people that's been married 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, whatever, they've gone through something. They've gone through a
We
Mhm.
lot.
say that all the time, Shannon. Honey, 5 years, Shannon. Tell her about it.
Yes,
50.
they've gone through a lot.
Maybe.
And I always say that marriages, I just want to say this little description of how I think of marriage. For those that are listening, marriage is like making mashed potatoes. And you got two dirty potatoes right out of the ground, starting from the bottom. You were raised how you were raised, he was raised how he was raised, right? Everybody thinks their way is
Mm-hmm.
right. Everybody thinks if their mother and father was together, their way was right. You know, so you trying to bring these two dirty potatoes together, and the first thing you got to do is rinse them off, right? You rinse them off in
Mm-hmm.
hot water, and that's a little painful. And then, if that's not enough, now you got to peel away the skin. All that stuff that you don't want to
Yes.
let go of, all that stuff he doesn't want to let go of, and you got to peel it away, peel it away. And then, just when you think we made it, now you got to be cut into pieces.
Mm.
You literally
Yes.
cut into pieces. So after you cut into pieces, you put into boiling water and the heat is turned up. The heat is literally turned up. And then
Wow.
Talk
Wow.
about
once
it.
you become pliable from being put in the
Mhm.
fire, now you can take those potatoes out, drain away all the mess, all the impurities, everything, and put it in a bowl and mash it together. And that's how the two become one.
Mhm.
Mm.
That's the only way,
That's
I
deep.
love
by
that.
being pliable. And like my
Mhm.
father would say, being like
Can-
a rubber band, being able to stretch,
Mhm.
having
Mm.
forgiveness and compassion and compromise and all of those things,
Yes.
you know. So I tell people, because I marry people, don't enter into it lightly. And this is coming from somebody that's divorced. Don't enter into it
Mm.
lightly, because it is
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
work. It is some of the hardest work you'll ever do in your life. It is some of the hardest work you'll ever do in your life.
That is true.
But if you're willing and you're able and you really, it's something you want to fight for or something. And do mean fight. If it's something
I mean, literally. Did you hear me say fight for my life? Literally.
like on the color purple, all my life I had to fight.
If I
I
had
had to
to.
fight.
So I say
Yes.
all that to say it's, if you really truly love someone, it's worth it, because true love
Mm-hmm.
is worth fighting
Covers,
for.
and it covers a multitude. Trust
Yes.
me, it covers. If you don't understand love, baby, please don't get married because there's a lot of stuff you're gonna look at yourself and it ain't gonna be like Ralph Tresvant. If it is in love, no, it ain't gonna be that
Mhm.
song. It's gonna be like, what kind of love, what manner of love is
Yes.
this?
Right.
That I still
Mhm.
wake up and try to keep fighting for this marriage, it will
Mhm.
truly make you understand. So that's why tonight's topic is called soul choices. It's way beyond dating. Soul
Yes.
choices, you got to be
Mhm.
ready to deal with these unemotional men. But before we jump really quick, I want to say one thing. And I know it may sound crazy, but I must say this to the fellas. I applaud you, gentlemen, that actually tell women the truth. Because
Oh yeah.
don't sneak me,
Yes.
don't reel me in, don't pull the wool over my eyes. For you men who show up and say, "Hey, look, this is who I am," I applaud you for that because it leaves that woman a choice. Some women are cold blooded, like Shiloh said. They ain't thinking about no Bible or no Quran or nothing else, and they gonna go round for round with that. They unemotional too.
Right.
So it's for some people. It's for some people. But if you're concerned about your soul, don't do it. And I don't like how some women like me, you have a career. And some women maybe I have a career. I got 50 kids. I'm running I'm running three businesses. I'm writing books, making movies. I may not have time for no emotional available man.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So hey, let's do this. That to each its own. That's not what we're saying here. When it comes to your soul, be careful with that choice because I'm telling you, I know you saved and you know that God can do anything but fail. Oh yeah, we know that. But can't no man change himself, but the Lord can change him. But he's not even going to change. He's not going to ask God to change him for a woman he doesn't want. So no matter how you look at that thing, if that's how that man presents himself, you ain't it, sis.
That's
Mhm.
You're
right.
not it, you know. So please don't fall in love with a man that tell you he's emotion unavailable because you will end up with your heart broken.
That's right.
And it's nothing like
So either one
heartbreak,
of you
honey.
ladies got anything to say? Girl, talk about it.
Mhm.
Oof.
And you don't know, a woman can say, and fellas, please, you can look at a woman and tell. And like I said, when you're being physical with that woman every day, all day for 5 years, trust me, she falling in love. She can tell you what she wants to with her mouth. But if that's not your intent, you might want to limit that physical contact too, because that's where the soul ties come into play. So if you don't want a soul choice, if you don't want that woman to be connected to your soul, don't go create no soul ties because it's going to happen no matter how you try to fight it. Do either of you ladies have anything to add to the dialogue tonight before we go to our wrap up?
I just want to say, ladies, when you're dating, men ask a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Have questions written out that you want to know. Ask him about his parents, if they were together, if they weren't together, and if they were together, what was their relationship like? You know, um, how do you discipline? How do you? I mean, it should be over 200 questions you ask somebody. Not all at once, ladies, because you're gonna scare them away. They can't think that fast. But um, I think that it's just a lot of questions that need to be asked, and they need to ask you questions too, because I always say they taught us in school the process of elimination, and we
Mhm.
need
Mm-hmm.
to use that in dating. I know I do. I,
Absolutely.
I use
Absolutely.
the
Mhm.
process of
Mhm.
elimination, and I'll just cut you so fast. You'll be like, "What happened?" No, I'm sorry. This not gonna even work for just dating. So
Right.
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 um, just know what you want, know what you don't want, and don't settle for less.
It's a fact. What about you,
Awesome.
baby mama? You got anything else to add?
Nope, nothing else.
Well, tonight's wrap up will be short and sweet because we've really we pretty much said it all in the dialogue, and it's really not a whole lot of wrapping up we need to do when it comes to the topic of soul choices. We encourage everyone to remember this: God gives us all free will and plenty of wonderful men filled with goodness and the ability to love us properly. So please don't waste your choice on someone who tells you they are not emotionally available for you to give you all the goodness that you deserve. And trust me, your soul and your freedom depends on it. And that's my
Yeah.
wrap up for tonight.
All right.
Don't be
All
Thanks,
right.
wasting my
Don.
good time. You're
All
welcome.
right. Okay, here we go. Time for the sound off.
All right, we've come to our sound off segment of the show. This is where we announce a song related to the topic of the night, while also hoping to add to your musical playlist, give your ears something different to listen to. We use songs from all categories and genres, and tonight's song is by Lady Antebellum, Need You Now. Now that's a country song, y'all. I love a good country song. My father was a truck driver, and we would spend summers with dad in the truck. We would go into these rural areas and all they had was country music. But you know what I found? That's some of the best soul soothing music in the world. So if you've never listened
Mhm.
to country music, I would encourage you to jump on over. But for tonight, you can start with Lady Antebellum. Need You Now. And Shannon, where can they go to give their suggestions or jump into this music of fest?
All right. Well, I just want to say real quickly, Lady Antebellum, they have now changed their name to Lady A, to be more politically correct. But in order to send your uh, feedback and any comments on the topic tonight or even on the song, you would send that to wifey and baby mama at gmail.com. That is wifey and baby mama at gmail.com.
And
All
Shannon,
right.
don't be correcting me and telling my age because they was Lady Antebellum back then. But I'm just kidding.
I know they were
I'm
back
just
then.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Before cancel culture, yes.
Just teasing. Shiloh, thank you for joining us, sweetheart. It was a wonderful
Having me.
conversation
Yes.
tonight.
Thank you so much,
Yes.
ladies.
Yes. Awesome having you.
Love what you're
All
doing.
right.
Keep up the good work. Be encouraged.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you. All right. Until next week.
We love you all. Goodbye.